Right, Darian. It's good to have you up after a 3-hour drive up here.
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
First of all, I'll just basically run through how you found us, how you got involved with e-commerce master. So if you want to just let us know how you came about us, really.
Yeah, so well, I've been a follower of the page for quite a while before I actually did buy into the course. I was looking into it, wasn't sure. I had previous experience on eBay, and I was looking for, to further on eBay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just
Were you just selling items from around the house? Or
Yeah, I was selling items from around the house,
Just-
and then I thought, I saw the course and what you guys offer, and I've done my research into it. Took a bit of time, and you know what? I think it's one of those things when you do eventually make the jump. You think, why didn't I do this sooner? Because so I think I've been a member since August, and straight away from day one, you got in contact with me. Everything was there. It was all the guides are really easy to follow and understand. It helps if you've got previous experience.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if you haven't, it's a walkthrough, step-by-step guide. So, you spend a little bit of time on it, get to grips with it, and then you just put it in action. So I slowly started, took your advice, slowly started scaling up the store, took my time, and then, day by day I started to see an increase. Started getting 1 sale, 2 sales, 3 sales, and then it's like you almost sort of can't believe it, and it feels surreal. But then you come to grips with it, and then now, like I'll be at work and I'll get an order, and I'll be like, right, I send that off, and it literally takes a minute. And
It does.
It does, yeah. Like people say, it takes a minute. It only takes 10 days of your time. It really does. But sourcing the products takes a bit longer. But that's your product research and what you're doing. You can put your own products on there, as I followed your guides for that as well. Yeah. So I trialed that and thought, okay, right, that's how you do that. And then I got more comfortable with that, and now I'm actually putting my own items on and seeing, right, that works. Maybe that's the sort of not necessarily niche. I'm still got
similar things to what is selling.
Similar things, and then you sort of see, right, that works. So it becomes sort of a trial and error. Yeah. And if you ever get stuck, you're there. I think we hadn't spoke for like a couple of weeks, and you just messaged me and said, look, how's it going?
Yeah.
And I think with like maybe other courses, you don't get that sort of support.
You pay for a course,
and that's it. That's their bit done. They're like, well, we've given you the videos, that's it, get on with it, sort of thing. But it's the support that you've got from the team. You actually care about how
that's the
people
thing
are doing.
with like selling an online course. I think everybody paints the picture with the same brush, if that's the saying. Like they think they're all the same, and they're 100% not. Like even I've took courses in the past that I'd say I was decent. Do you know what I mean?
Which I bought a course before this as well, and it was a similar sort of. So I bought a course during lockdown, and I thought, I'm really gonna get on with this. I'm gonna do it. I wanted to get into selling Ecom, all that sort of stuff. So I've done a lot of research into Ecom. So I wasn't new coming into it. I just could never sort of really put the plans into action.
Was that like overseas supplier?
Yes, so dropshipping with overseas on Shopify, that kind of thing. And I think for me, personally, I found it a bit overwhelming. So it was like, you watch all the videos and you're like, how do I actually take action?
Yeah.
And sort of with this, I had previous experience with eBay, so I was a bit more comfortable using eBay, so that helped. But then also, it's still, I think, when I first started, I came across an issue. I was trying to, upload stuff, and I came to you and I said, look, it's not doing this, it's not doing that. And the response was within 5 minutes, respective times during the day. Yeah. You'll get back to you straight away. And there's not been a time where I've messaged you if I have needed help. You've got back to me within the hour. Yeah. So the support is there. The value for money that you get with this course is, I feel like I've got that back 10 times already. Mm-hmm. If you can see that, what you actually get with the whole package, and don't sort of, you can see other people. There's many people that have got it, and some people have probably done what I've done in the last 2 months in a week. It just depends what products you've got on there.
100%.
And you put on there, and it comes down to the person. So for myself, I sit down and I think I could spend more time on it with product research. So I'll spend most time. The best time that I found for myself is on a Saturday. when I'm at my shop at work in the morning, if it's not too busy, I sit down there, I'll open the laptop up, and then all of a sudden, I find on the weekend more people are buying stuff on the weekends as well. So
Yeah,
just
because they're free. They're on the phone.
everyone's
or
at
on
work
laptop.
Monday to Friday. Yeah. So I found, there's many different ways, and like you said, if you keep being active with putting new listings up, it brings your page up, and then more people find them. Because I think I actually came to you, I think it was maybe after a week or two, and you said, how are you getting on? And I said, I'm not getting no views. So I was thinking like, is this working, sort of thing? And you said, don't worry about the views, keep like pushing the listings every day, slowly, to build the account. And it did. I did exactly that, what you said, and I was like, right, okay, that works. So I got a bit of confidence with that there, and then I was like, right, I'm gonna try my own listing, see how that goes. And then I put a listing on, and I think some of them, one of my best products I've put on, I've had like 10 different people, but it's sold 10 times. So products do keep reselling.
You do have them, don't you?
Yeah, you find them. You find like, you know what I mean? You find good products and you think, right, that works. Maybe I'll start finding different products like that. And it reels you in, and it becomes interesting. And it's not like, I've got to spend time doing that. You want to.
Yeah,
it's
you want to build it.
Yeah, and it becomes fun, but you've got to enjoy the process. It's not,
It's like when we sat down what we were saying, it isn't a get rich quick, is it?
Nothing is.
I always say it isn't a get rich quick, so don't expect to buy it and be loaded overnight, because it ain't going to happen.
It doesn't happen like that,
That's for anything, though. Anybody that sells you something that's saying you're going to be loaded overnight or over a weekend, it's just rubbish.
Yeah, it's like they say, anything too good to be true
Probably
usually is. But if you put the hard work in, you'll see the results coming day by day. And when you look back to like where I first started, I'm thinking like, I think I'm on like 75 orders now in 2 months. That's not bad.
That's decent.
For the time that I've put into it. And I'm sitting, sometimes I sit to myself and I'm like, all right, I've got to do that tonight. And I get home and it just don't happen. Like, people are busy, and everybody has busy lifestyles, but it's juggling it. But for a second income stream, it's fun. There's potential for it to. It's massive. Do you know what I mean?
There's guys in the chat, as I'm sure you've seen, that have actually left their jobs. Yeah, you'll have seen it. And
that's obviously. I mean, I'm sure for most people that are looking at the course before they even buy it, that is the dream and the vision. You got to have the dream. You got to have the vision and think, where do you want to get with it, and then you work towards it, and it becomes, you enjoy the process and enjoy the journey. And I'm still very new into it. A year from now, I may have left my job. That's my hope. Do you know what I mean? But then it's taught me skills as well, for that you can apply to different things, or just even, like I said, with confidence. I was watching your page for quite a while, for probably maybe 6 months or so, and I was like, is it something that is it going to work, or is it just another one of them courses? And
because you do see a lot of people selling like courses online. That's why I'm kind of trying to bring this more to Instagram, so people can see faces behind what is actually happening.
And I think this is good for it as well, because it's very easy for people to get testimonials out, and then you can think that might be their friends or people that have gone, he's paid them to say that. I've
today you've travelled 3 hours.
I've travelled up 3 hours to come here because I thought it'd be nice to speak to like-minded people. Obviously speak to yourself. I spoke to you over messaging and stuff like that, but it's completely different.
You did a little. Most people who have seen it, you did a little review as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and that's.
But obviously, then you said, I could probably do a better one, and then I said, why don't you just come up and do a body?
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, I was trying to keep it as short as simple, but get as much as I possibly could in. And I've never done nothing like that before. And it's, again, that was a confidence booster for myself. And it's, you got to put yourself out of your comfort zone
100%.
To build yourself as a person, to think, well, if I can do that, I can do this. And like I said, if there is people that have been following your page for a while and think, people are doing well and stuff like that, and it's not a risk really, investing into yourself.
I don't think it is. It's like I was saying the other day on Lewis, when I had Lewis on here, the course price, I don't think is actually that much, mate, because a lot of people just spend that on rubbish on a weekend.
It's so easy. It's so easy to spend that much or more, and you ain't getting nothing back off it. Whereas this is something that you can
put your head
it's
into.
endless. Yeah, you put your head into it endlessly. You know, anything good, you have to make maybe certain sacrifices. So let's say you don't go out for a month or two. You save up the money, you buy the course, and then you spend another month or two really understanding it, getting to grips with it. You know, you'll then look back and think those sacrifices may, like, if it is people that usually go out on a Friday or, you know, buy themselves a new pair of trainers and stuff like that, just take the chance to invest into yourself, especially into something like this. You know, be wary, do your research into to anything, like I did. You know, I didn't just see your course and think, right, I'll buy that and see what happens. And then, you know, I could have given up on the first day or two thinking, oh, I can't upload, like, what is this course?
No views.
Yeah, and I was getting no views, and I was thinking, like, how are these people getting these many sales in 90 days? But then I focused on my journey with my store, and I started to see improvements.
That's what I say to everybody. Don't worry what he's doing. Don't worry what they're doing. Yours will come.
That just shows you that's with what you're doing with this, there's potential for me to do that and new people to do it. Like, I think I saw on the Instagram today that someone had joined on the Black Friday sale and they got a sale just like that.
Somebody messaged me last night actually saying, I don't know if to join, I don't know if to spend my money on it. And I says, well, it's up to you. You've got till midnight, like, to grab it. You know, on the offer, I'd have grabbed it if it were me, but maybe we think different. But he says, and he ended up leaving it. So imagine if that was actually him. He's had his first sale today.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy. It's that dwelling period of should I, shouldn't I? You'll kick yourself because then I was watching your Instagram page for a while, and I'd seen a couple of new members. It was like new members, new store, they're doing this, and I'm like, oh, that's a new person, and people with no prior experience. And I thought, well, I've got some sort of experience, but that's physical, and which takes more time to. Sometimes I'd sell something during the day, and I'm like, oh, I've got to go home, and I've got to pack that up.
That's the beauty of drop shipping, innit? You haven't even seen it. You haven't even seen the item.
And it's ideal because, you know, on average, it's taking 1 to 3 days. I've had some items that have turned up the same day. I've sold it, and it's like by 10 o'clock they've had it, and I'm getting good feedback as well. So the feedback's starting to grow.
Have you had repeat custom? Because I know I get quite a bit. You know, like a person, for example, that disinfectant or something, like a kitchen wipe or something, they will keep coming back month after month.
Maybe not. I don't think I've noticed repeat custom off the same customer, but the same product. So I've had 2 or 3 different products that I'd say is good products for me that keep selling, and then I've pushed further with that sort of that product, thinking, right, that works, so what else can I put into it? But I actually had someone, it's funny you say that, last night, they messaged me and said, look, I bought this certain item off you. I'm looking for a similar item. I haven't got time for the measurements. Could you look into it? And that's the beauty of this sort of thing, because a lot of people haven't got the time to go and compare this and that.
That's what I say to everybody. They always say to me, so if you're drop shipping it from X, Y, and Z, why couldn't they just go to somewhere else cheaper and buy it cheaper? But that goes for anything. So why wouldn't you, for example, if you went to Wilkinson's or something like that, why wouldn't you go to their supply? It doesn't work like that, does it? People also like stuck in the habit, if you like. So somebody that always uses eBay will just order off eBay, won't they?
And it's
easy enough to order, isn't it?
Yeah, I was having this conversation with like my dad about it, and he said, well, you know, why would someone get it from there if they can get it somewhere else? I said, because I said, I prefer eBay to Amazon. So you're just comfortable with that. So you'll buy it on there. Like, you could walk into Tesco and buy something for X amount, and then you walk into Sainsbury's and they're selling it cheaper. But you can't then go back to Tesco and say, well, you owe me money because they're selling it cheaper. It's, you maybe didn't have the time to go there, or it's just that's selling, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So you said you've been on since August. Do you know roughly what you've made profit-wise, or have you not calculated yet?
I haven't kept an accurate track of it, but I'm definitely into the hundreds. So I think I'm between easily £200 to £300 profit. That's profit, so not sales.
So the course is paid for as well?
Yeah. And obviously now that's sort of more or less covered itself. Like I said, and if I put more time in and found more time to, like I was researching and putting different products, I probably would have had more than that. But I've noticed, like, I might get, last week I was quite busy and I didn't have too much interaction with it, and I was going from like 4 or 5 sales a day, and then I didn't have any sales the next day, and then the next day I had more. But that's just down to me not putting the time in. So what you put in is what you'll get out. If you're proactive with it every day, and it generally is, if you just spend an hour putting five new products or something like that every day, just to keep your eBay active, you'll see the sales coming in. I think I looked last night, and still in the last 30 days, I've had like £700 sales, which isn't bad.
No,
and
at all.
It depends on the sort of the level, the price range that you're selling.
It.
Yeah.
But compare that to something like Shopify. How much money would you be down with a Shopify store? Because you've got to spend money on ads. You've got to do like an Instagram or Facebook or however you're going to market.
And it's still not guaranteed that you're going to even reach customers, because people are putting ads out there. How do you know it's going to reach your target audience that you actually want to buy that product? Whereas with eBay, they've got millions of customers all over the world. So you've solved that problem already. You haven't got to spend on ads. So it's a really good setup for myself, and anybody can do it. You've just got to believe in yourself.
So in terms of setting up, how long would you say it took you to set up? Because I get asked this all the time when people are joining.
So in terms of the eBay, I already had an eBay. I think I'd sold maybe 20 items or something like that. So I had a fairly established eBay. So maybe for someone that's starting from fresh, never had an eBay, it might take you 1 to 2 days, I'd say, for the setup. But you can make an account in an hour or two. Yeah. It's just obviously building that reputation.
Oh, yeah. That's what I usually say to people. If you've never done it before, it's going to take you an hour to set up roughly.
Yeah. But, you've got to familiarise yourself with the videos, understand what you're doing, and then start applying it. But I think I started off, I set it up. I spent a day to look at all the videos and understand what I was doing. And then I think on the second day, I started listing. So from day 2, I was listing products. Yep. And then I spent the next week or two, after a week or two, I sold my first product. And like everyone says, that your first sale is the best feeling. It is. You're like, I've actually got one. Yep. And then I was sitting there and I was like checking it. I was like, have I done everything right? Now I don't even sort of think about it when I do it, because it's the confidence there. So sale after sale, you're growing confidence with what you're doing. Your eBay course, your eBay will grow. You start noticing people are leaving good feedback. Yep. And it just goes from there, and then it gives you more reason to push on.
I think once your first comes as well, your second isn't far behind.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I think
that's what I usually find.
I got one sale on the first day, and then I think the next day I got another one, and then it just started getting more and more.
Rolling effect.
Yeah, and like I said, it's for other people, like for new people that maybe have joined the course and are at different stages, I'd say the same thing. Don't worry about the views, because that's what I was worried about. Yep. It doesn't matter. You could literally have no views on a product. One person views it and buys it. Yep. And then all of a sudden that's come up the page because someone's bought it. Yep. And then more of your products. In one order, someone bought 2 different products in the same order. Yeah. So that means that they've gone onto my store and seen the other similar items that I'm selling.
I get that.
And that was a good feeling as well. I was like, wow, that means they've actually looked on my store. And I think I've now got 2 followers. So that's 2 potential repeat customers. When I've had some people message me, I'm straight back to them. So within, it could be 10 o'clock. If I've seen it, I'll message them back. They might have a question about a product, or,
it's a sale at the end of the day.
It's a sale, yeah. And whether...
It's not a lot of work for that sale either.
It takes you 2 minutes, doesn't it? 2 minutes to reply to someone. So it's really efficient. It doesn't take a lot of your time. You just have to be bothered. You make time for it. And then you see the rewards that you get from it. It makes you want to push further and push further. And then it will give you other ideas. Like I said, for when you actually get a sale of something, it'll give you an idea of what's selling. And, for new members that do join, even if they don't know anything, you've got 250 items. So you can get a rough idea of what kind of things to put on. And then, like I said, with me, I put the first 250 items on, and I think like a fridge magnet sold. And I thought, who would buy that? But
the thing is, the things that you, before you start, the things you think will sell isn't going to sell.
No.
It's the most random that will sell the most.
Exactly, I was going to say
For
that.
example, you might think microwaves sell, and it won't. It'll be like a pizza cutter that'll actually sell.
Just because you might personally think, well, I wouldn't buy that, someone will.
Yep.
You know,
100%.
I think I've sold like pistachio butter. I never even knew what, like, I thought, what is that? So I looked into it, but that's just the beauty of it. You know, it could be anything and everything. And then also seasonal as well. And this is the best time of the year.
100%.
Because
obviously with your store right now, this is the point in which you'll be making the most money as well with the deals going on right now. Obviously, so there's an extra bit of percentage in the profit. As simple as that, because the items are cheaper.
100%, yeah. And with eBay, you know, they do have a lot of offers like variable selling fees and stuff like that, and that's where you make the difference as well. It helps.
Yep. So when you first started the 250, what did you say? Did it take you roughly the first month to put them all on? Would you say, or?
Yeah, because I was putting, I think you said to me, put
slow and steady.
Yeah, slow and steady, because you don't just want to bombard it. Yep. So I put, I up to the first 100 listings, I was putting maybe 3 to 5 a day. When I first started, I was putting 2-3 items every day. So that's what took the time. But the last thing you want to do is go and put like 50 items on at once on a new account, and then your account gets suspended, or, you know, because they think it's
dodgy because you never listed anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd sold, I think, about 20 items or so previously on it. So I had some sort of history, but I still took my time to scale it up. And then I think once I got past like 100 listings, I was putting maybe 5 to 10 a day, scaling it up that way. And I think now my store's capable of putting, like, I've put 50 listings on at once, because it's at that sort of level where I'm getting sales, and you've proved to eBay that you can sell something and you've not had no comebacks from it.
Yep.
You know, you're going to get, for those people that think it's just, you're not going to get no comebacks, you will get the odd thing or there where you have to deal with it. Like I had one person say they hadn't received their item. So I looked into it and I got a refund. And so I refunded the customer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So I get a lot of questions from people that's outside saying, how hard is the returns? What would you say about the returns?
It took me 5 minutes. I think I struggled a little bit to go, because the item was showing as delivered and posted through the letterbox. It was maybe a little bit harder. And this was on like the 8th of November, and it was almost 2 weeks after. So at first it was kind of like I couldn't get the right direction to get the refund. But I just ended up having to get the app for it. Then I went to customer support and they just refunded it. Like it's as simple as that. And the money was back within 2 days. It says 5 to 7 working days. It was 2 days. So it's really easy if something like that does go wrong as well. And for anyone else as well that maybe hasn't had any like returns or anything like that yet, you may sit there and think, oh, here we go, or that sort of thing. But you're gonna get that. But the volume of when you start selling more, you're open to that kind of opportunity for something to be not delivered.
That's business, isn't it?
But yeah, that is business in any way, shape and form. You're gonna get returns, or you know, someone's not happy with something. But it's how you deal with it. I think I had one person. So I've only had like 2 or 3, I'd say, which is like not a plain sailing through sale. Whereas another person said, "Oh, I've received the item and I'm not happy with the quality." Now that's nothing to do with us. So I said to him, "Look, here's what I'll do." I said, I'll give you 20% refund and you can keep the item. So I didn't make nothing on that sale, but I kept the customer happy. So just because I didn't want a bad review or anything like that, and they said, "You know what? Okay, yeah, we're happy with that. We'll keep it." And hopefully they may be a repeat customer and buy something from me again.
That's the best way to go about it, because then they'll think, oh, these guys, do you know what I mean? They're on the ball kind of thing, and can trust them.